And now to next news for you, which is about the elections happening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF has rejected the findings of observers who say the country's presidential and legislative elections fail to conform to regional and international standards. Now, regional and international observers listed concerns over the caning of opposition rallies, denial of accreditation to several foreign media, and missing voters' names from the roll at their polling station. But ZANU-PF party spokesman Christopher Mhlanga, during a press briefing in Harare, rejected the findings of the observers. In the meantime, a press briefing by the spokesperson of the Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC, promised Kwananzi of the election updates was disrupted on Saturday morning. Now, Kwananzi was given an update to the media on alleged irregularities at some voting stations during Zimbabwe election. And during the live press address, an unknown man can be seen grabbing the speech from Kwananzi during the address in Harare. Now, this comes as reports are coming in that CCC party has taken 12 parliamentary seats in Bulawayo.
This is not on. This is not proper. I urge our colleagues in ZANU-PF to restrain themselves from the use of violence. We are non-violent, we are peaceful, but we are determined to protect the victory of President Nelson Chamisa and the victory of the people of Zimbabwe. It is not about President Nelson Chamisa. It is not about Promise Mkwananzi or Gladys Fletcher. It's about Zimbabwe. It's about the Zimbabweans. This is your time to stand and say, we want an accurate result of what transpired in these elections.
We also understand that Zimbabwe police have a warrant of arrest for the new opposition CCC spokesman, Promise Mkwananzi. Now, in the press statement issued a few minutes ago, the police say he is wanted in connection with an incitement charge from 2019. Police, led by Assistant Inspector Gwati, disrupted a CCC press conference, which was being addressed this morning in Harare. Now, to talk about this, I'm being joined by Blessed Mhlanga, who is a journalist from Harare, for more on the latest developments in Zimbabwe. Can you hear me, Blessed?
Loud and clear.
Oh, great. It's good to have you join us. So let's talk about what's happening regarding the election. We saw that the Citizens Coalition for Change spokesperson being interrupted during a press conference. Take us through what's really happened there and any knowledge you have of who those people are and their reason for the disruption.
So basically, we arrived at the press conference to cover the press conference. And just before the press conference started, two unmarked SUV twin cabs arrived. And as they arrived, three men jumped out of the car and attempted to grab Promise Mkwananzi, who's the spokesperson of the Citizens Coalition for Change. He actually ran away and he alerted journalists. Then they proceeded to start with the press conference. And as the press conference was midway, the men came and they were standing in the crowd with the journalists, but then they approached the podium and they pulled and attempted to take away Promise Mkwananzi. This was then stopped by some of the members of the CCC and journalists who demanded to see the identity and know the identity of the police. So it is not really clear their intentions, but our investigations have shown that these are police officers who are stationed with this CID Law and Order Department at Harare Central Police Station, although they refused to identify themselves or produce their identification cards to the journalists who were there, and also to Promise Mkwananzi himself, who they wanted to pull out of the press conference.
Okay. Now, Blessed, what's the latest updates on the presidential results? Are there any news so far on why there is a delay?
So this is quite unusual for us, unusual for me, having covered over four elections rather in my life as a journalist in Zimbabwe. Normally, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission would be coming periodically to update the people of Zimbabwe to tell them the results and how people have voted. As of now, the command center has not seen any ZEC official coming to announce the results or to even update the nation on what is happening. Now, according to the law, ZEC has about 5 days, up to 5 days to announce the results. Now, I'm not very sure which days they're going to start counting from, because voting happened on 23 and 24 August. So I'm not sure if they're going to start counting from the 23rd or from the 24th, the last day of voting, which means that they have up to about Tuesday this coming week to announce those results. So they are still within their time frame, but their silence is very, very loud, and it is something that it's unusual, and it's something that is also causing anxiety amongst the people, because people want to know the results. And this has also resulted in a lot of speculation around who has won and who has not won this election. And, you know, the jitteriness, yesterday, we saw ZANU-PF addressing a press conference going after Sadiq. We saw the Minister of Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Ziambi, also addressing a press conference immediately, also against Sadiq. So these unusual, reactions by the state, are sending signals that something could be smelling in Rome.
All right, thank you very much, Blessed Mhlanga, for your contribution on the updates regarding Zimbabwe's election.